Alright, so about 4 or 5 years ago, I completely stopped lurking on GSG board on 4chan. And GSG board is basically just Grand Strategy General. It's a thread on the board Video Game General. And doing this video, I expect a lot of hate from 4chan users in general, because it's kind of a rule that you don't speak of 4chan outside of 4chan. I wanted to go back and record it because, like I said, 4 or 5 years ago when I completely stopped going on the thread, it was mostly due that every thread degenerated to the same style of posting. Mostly shit post about Licoria 2, Alex Grandi shit posting in general, just bashing any new DLC for EU4 or CK2. And it was kind of a pole light in the end when you go through all the racial slurs and insult going on. So it wasn't really that enjoyable because nobody discussed about the games anymore at that point. I feel like I might not be the only one in that situation, and while yes, you can just go and see, I thought it was a good idea to record it to get some little more engagement of dislikes and hate. To start off, the OP post is very similar to it used to be, and it's very different from the rest of the general threads, as you can see. The OP picture contains all the usual games that are played in GSG, and Distant Worlds is still there, but I honestly don't know if anybody ever played it at this point. There are other titles that could be closely associated to the GSGs that are mentioned, as well as a quick fact and a list of user modification, which is very interesting. So up to now, everything still looked the same as it did like 5 years ago. Maybe just the newer titles have been added to the OP post. So let's go down in the thread and see if it's better than I remember. And now, if you're a GSG poster, just keep in mind, I don't personally target you if I say anything. It's just, everything's anonymous on this board, so it's alright. So as you can see, there seems to still be some arguing about Grandi, some random shit posting, but really quickly we actually find some gameplay pictures, some from the Qing Empire in Euro 4. And judging by the content of the post, it seems like they're in quite a pickle. And of course we have some obligatory Anglo postings, Kaizo posting, so alright, seems like things are as usual up to now. We have the Qing Empire person that has been posting a couple of pictures, so let's go and scroll down, see if things are slightly different. And we have someone that actually dropped a link for a brief history of GSG, so I might take a look at that a bit later. Otherwise, there's some more discussion about the Qing Empire playthrough, a little bit more people talking about a game. Really, everything seems to be pretty standard. People are arguing about the games, which is what I like to see, and not just about the Schizo posters. There's maybe a little bit of name throwings going on around, but nothing really that is particularly out of what 4chan usually was. And there's a picture that mentioned that OP of the initial GSG thread has been banned for ban evasion and is post removed. And someone was perma-banned for 30 days for exposing Grandi, apparently. If we skip that short mention of shit posting, it seems like people are really talking about the game, sharing tips, discussing strategies, and that is really nice. I kind of like seeing that, and I think all of you people who posted that, I really appreciate that you actually make GSG a nice place again, not just a shit posting shithole. Unsurprisingly, there seems to be a little bit of discussion about Crusader Kings 3.
Why is the female nude when the male is not?
The age of coolers is coming.
Is this real, based if true?
Please tell me this is a joke.
The art guy used his wife as a model. Civilization is unnatural, wild and free, living in a palace, wearing luxury products to show off civilization. Content atheist. If anyone had any doubts about CK3, that just settles it.
Yes, so things didn't really change from my last visit. People seems to be discontent about the newer games that will be released. But you know, I haven't really followed up on Crusader Kings 3 since it was announced, so I don't really know everything that's going on with all the controversy. But we'll see. Now we have a release date, we'll probably start getting way more concrete information on the game. And now we have our first Victoria to post. Someone is playing as Montenegro at war with Russia against Ottoman Empire, and as usual Russia is probably doing nothing at all useful for the war in the Balkans. But it does surprise me a bit that it is the first Victoria to post we see in the thread, because it used to be very popular, but nowadays seems like nobody really playing any more Victoria 2, or maybe I'm just wrong. The next post is really interesting. It seems like someone is been playing Darkest Hour on mobile. That's probably something I'd like to try. It seems maybe a bit too complex to be played with only touch control on the same screen you see everything, but it seems like an interesting concept. Following this interesting post, there's quite some arguing about the sexuality in Crusader Kings 3, and someone shared a series of screenshots about the Aztec invasion. I know exactly how you feel, Anon. It happens to me often to forget to turn it off. And we continue up with more discussion and screenshot sharing of Crusader Kings 3, and it seems to be a focal interest of this specific thread I'm taking a look at. It keeps going with some regular conversation between all the members of GSG, all the respectful members of GLG, and we got a little bit more of screenshot sharing for a Crusader Kings 2 game, and really there's a little bit of shit posting up to now, but I was expecting way worse, and what really surprised me is there's almost nothing about Victoria 2. A couple of years ago when I was going in these thread to lurk around, if you didn't post about Victoria 2, you were actually like an outsider. If you post about Europa Universalis or Crusader Kings 2, you probably will be called different racial slurs, but it seems like that era has been revolutionized, and now people are actually discussing again the game like they used to initially in the very first GSG when I start watching them out in, I don't know, maybe 2010. I don't remember really when they start getting around. Next up, we have a series of screenshots about a run with Sweden that seems to be headed to disaster. That's a lot of Turkish troops in Sweden. A bit spooky. Yeah, it definitely feels terrible when you're getting that late in the game and something like that happens. But it only takes a couple of years, and it seems like Anon is able to get back on track. And this is what I like about Europa 4, is after being wiped, 15 years later you're dominating the world again. And we have some more shit posting, and then we get back to Victoria 2 screenshot. Oh yes, the only reason why the war plan is in the game. And we're back at normal discussions, and then we find this gem. I have no idea what that is, but that is beautiful. Then suddenly I completely understand what's going on with GSG, why it changed so much. We'll definitely be able to take a look at V2G once we're done with GSG, just to see what's going on with Victoria 2. Then we get some Crusader 2 pictures. And we finally get a conclusion to the Sweden story. It seems like he was really able to go back on his feet. And now it looks like the Turks will get a taste of their own medicine 40 years later. A couple of pictures of a finished run by one of the poster. Crusader Kings 3 naval transportation, superior ships, yeah right. And a finished game of Austria that took over the entirety of Sweden. And another finished game of Romania, which take almost over the entire world. There are some other posts, but this pretty much is it for GSG. It's actually a pretty nice place right now, with people having interesting conversation, discussing the game like civilized people, and it appears to be very convivial right now compared as what I remember it was. But maybe I'm just wrong, maybe not, I'm not sure, but I think there's one more place I need to go check out. And as I said before, if you're a poster on GSG, I didn't mean anything bad, even if I insulted you in some way or fashion. Wasn't probably the intended value, it was more for entertainment. But hopefully you've enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to subscribe for more. And why don't you go check out my Victoria 2 pro tip video I did not too long ago. Thank you for watching, and I strongly recommend you stay an extra 15 seconds because I think it will be worthwhile for you.
There's a place to post your rabbin Germanies, and its name GSG. Rule the world by building liquor factories. Shit post ton GSG. The Palatine that should sail the 7 seas. Show it to GSG. Watch your son get a venereal disease from his mom. GSG. Regale us with your mega campaign, but you do not start at Charlotte.